Good evening and welcome to this evening to the School Outreach Company's first in our spring webinar series. We're absolutely delighted to be with you all this evening. And my name is Maria and I work with the School Outreach Company. And I look forward to introducing some amazing guest speakers and to share with you busting some myths about apprenticeships, sharing career opportunities, and hopefully inspiring our future workforce. So today, as I said, it's myself, and I'd just like to share a couple of housekeeping things with you. The usual, we're going to record the call and share it with anybody that couldn't attend this evening, and also with all of the attendees so they can share it with any individuals that they feel may benefit. We're also just going to probably run quite short on time for a full Q&A session, as much as we would love that at the end of the session. There's ever such a lot of people on the line and we have a huge amount of information to get through and content. So if I could ask you to share any questions that you have in the chat facility or in the webinar Q&A, that's absolutely brilliant. And we will do everything we can, speak to the guest speakers, we'll answer all of those questions for you and respond to you all individually when we share the recording. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce some amazing guest speakers, as I said, and also to share some information about the School Outreach Company. So Pete Milsom has joined us, Partnership Manager with UCAS. Thank you very much for joining us. And he is going to share his dispel 7 myths on apprenticeships and the UCAS thoughts around apprenticeships and what that does. He'll also share some quick things about levels and just some basic information for this evening. I'm also delighted to introduce Tia Holland, who is the Future Careers Recruitment Manager with Virgin Media O2. And I work really closely with Tia, and certainly she is inspiring the future workforce, sharing career paths with Virgin Media O2. And then there's Monique Mackenzie, who is a current apprentice who would like to share her experience and also sort of why she is where she is and her thoughts around that. So if there's anybody on the line or listening to the recording that wants to be inspired by an existing apprentice, then Monique is here to share that information with us. So thank you for that. So, as I said when I introduced everybody, this is the first of our spring webinar series, and we're really, really delighted to share these live events with everybody. And I'll share a little bit about the School Outreach Company and our beliefs and who we are and what we're trying to achieve. But there's just a quick reminder there that our next webinar is on the 27th of April, and we will be discussing the financial sector in a little bit more detail, so a little bit different to this evening. But UCAS will be with us again to talk about some other topics. And so hopefully that's one for the diary, and we'll make sure that we pop the registration link in the chat and we'll share it with the next the recording for this webinar today. So who am I? Who is the School Outreach Company? I'm really, really delighted to say that I represent the School Outreach Company because we're striving to achieve everything that I've ever wanted to share with regards to experiences. We are the UK's largest school outreach provider, and we kind of do what it says on the tin. I don't really like to say that, but we are reaching out to schools the length and breadth of the country, and we're sharing information. And what we're trying to do is bridge this gap. We see very much that there's a gap between hiring organisations, providing the right information at the right times for students and our young people, and not only in schools and colleges, but also in the communities. And that's why we're here today, to hopefully have some parent and influencers online that we can re-educate and share the importance of different career paths. As I said, the length and breadth of the country, we're currently working with over 95% of the schools in the UK and colleges. There's a huge amount, and I know we provide a lot of information from some of our amazing organisations, and we are committed as well to think about the gender equality within roles, ethnic diversity groups and social mobility. And we won't want any more barriers to making sure that the right information meets the right people and gives them the right opportunities in life. So this topic is really, really relevant at the moment, and it's something that we're all talking about. And I said earlier about with regards to re-educating teachers and influences, please don't take that wrong. It's just making sure that you have the right information available to you from our organisation so that we can ensure that we're then passing that right information on to our school leavers. Life is quite hard to navigate, and I've always seen the apprenticeship programmes as quite a minefield. So hopefully we're more and more trying to dispel those myths and help work with our young people. Apprenticeships over the last 10 years have hugely changed, and the perceptions kind of are still remaining with regards to whether or not they're trade or craft apprenticeships, but the higher degree apprenticeships and the high learning apprenticeships are absolutely amazing and give young people great opportunity, especially for those individuals that don't want to consider university. Also, there's a huge amount of investment, and I'll share a little fact on that for you in a minute or two, but not only from our hiring organisations, but also the Treasury. And the organisations that I work with see day to day the importance of making sure that their future workforce does come from young people and the innovation and their thoughts and feelings. So that's really, really important to us. So here's a few facts, and then I'm going to pass on to Pete. The apprenticeships have grown 64% since 2014, which is a stunning figure. And that's because they are real pathways now. They're really important. And we have another one here. So over 50% of university applicants also registered an interest in apprenticeships. But so many of that 50% said they would have pursued that if they'd have known more about it. They didn't know where to go to find out that information. So whilst they registered their interest, that they didn't have the information to hand. And I love this. You can now become a GP through an apprenticeship programme. So as I said just before, it's not just about trades or crafts or, you know, lower level learning. It's, you know, there's amazing opportunities in medicine, law, you know, for different apprenticeship programmes, construction, you know, quantity surveying, architecture, many different things. So there's some really exciting roles to look out for. The Treasurer has invested £500 million since 2018. Now, there's a little bit of room for argument there with regards to the apprenticeship levy to making sure it's being used in the right places within our organisations, and it's certainly something we all look at, but that's a huge investment. So not only are those hiring organisations investing, also our government is investing to make sure that these opportunities are available. And then last but not least, which again is another really good one for me, is we see that a graduate programme have over approximately a minimum of 50 applications per vacancy in the UK. So after you've been to university and, you know, all of that effort as a grad to then go out and find a workplace can be quite challenging. Apprenticeships is very different. I think it's 19-1 has been advertised by the ISC chance of achieving your actual role. You know, it's quite a real scenario that you would get that role. But when I'm out and about speaking to our organisations, they're actually lower numbers than that, sort of less than 10 can be, 5-6-1 odds that you would achieve. So it's real, you know, opportunities there that we can get those jobs that we're applying for, rather than just thinking maybe I will, maybe I won't. But anyway, enough of me. Pete, I'd love for you to share your thoughts and insights and dispel those myths about apprenticeships.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria, and it's great to be here this evening working with the School Outreach Company. Thank you very much. And we are very much at UCAS looking to help dispel some of those myths and misconceptions. Now, you might be thinking, what on earth is UCAS doing here talking about apprenticeships? We help you get into university, of course, and we've been doing that for many years. But we also help people discover apprenticeships as well. So after this call, I would encourage people to go to ucas.com and you can have a look at both our university undergraduate courses and explore that, but you can very much also explore apprenticeship options and opportunities as well. So please do go to ucas.com and create yourself a hub account and you can discover the opportunities that are out there. As Maria was saying, there are a lot of myths and misconceptions about apprenticeships, and I'm just going to go through 7 of the kind of most popular ones that people think, because what we're trying to do, we really want at UCAS to put apprenticeships side by side with that undergraduate opportunity as well. to really show that apprenticeships can be just as aspirational and just as prestigious and lead to just as fantastic jobs as undergraduate degrees can. It's important to point out that I'm not saying one is better than the other. I don't want to promote apprenticeships over the degrees or university degrees over apprenticeships, but we really want our mission to be for people to make the most informed choices as possible and really spot the benefits and reap the benefits of apprenticeships as much as undergraduate degrees. So myth one, and just on that, the myth is that apprenticeships aren't as good as degrees. Okay, degrees and apprenticeships, they're different. We know that they're not the same. Undergraduate degrees, there are many reasons to go to university and be on a university course for the love of the subject, for their social life that you might get, for example. So there's many reasons to choose an undergraduate degree, but that is not to say that apprenticeships are not as good as degrees. There are so many apprenticeships available at the moment, and there are so many routes that you can take into a career via an apprenticeship. You don't have to take my word for it. You can see that there are very, very high profile employers running apprenticeship programs, and these employers are running these apprenticeship programs for a reason. They know that they can recruit apprentices and they can both train their apprentices in their way, and also they can provide that learning that goes along with it. So an apprenticeship is different to an undergraduate degree. You do learn in a different way, but as an apprentice, you'll be working, you'll be earning while you're learning, but also receiving that education as well. There are also degree apprenticeships available as well, which many employers are running as apprenticeship programs. And to go on a degree apprenticeship, it could be said that you do get the best of both worlds. So you can have a job, you can train while you learn on the job, network with colleagues, learn about all the experiences that you get there, but also you can get that degree as well. And when I say a degree, that's a university degree as well. The university will deliver the learning whilst you learn on the job as well. So as I said, there are undergraduate options to go to university. There are apprenticeship options as well. We want people to really weigh them up and give them equal thought and weight. So if we can go on now to myth number two, please. Apprenticeships are for people who don't do well at school. That's a really common myth, is apprenticeships being kind of a second option. So, you don't do well at school, you couldn't get into university, so you do apprenticeship instead. Very much along the lines of what I was saying on the first myth there. Apprenticeships open up many, many doors, and although there are different entry requirements for different types of apprenticeships, they are certainly not for just people that didn't do well at school. Apprenticeships are for everybody, and there are different levels of apprenticeships, and there are different requirements that employers might have. But they really aren't just for people who don't do well at school. Apprenticeships are for everybody, and that's right through from. We'll talk about the levels a little bit later, but that's from right through from level 2 right up to level 7 as well. So within the world of apprenticeships, there's certainly something there for everyone. And also, it's best to find out the right learning style for you. It's up to you. If we can go on to myth 3, please. Apprenticeships are only available in vocational industries. Okay, so very much apprenticeships are available in vocational industries. So the routes into traditional jobs associated with apprenticeships, like plumbing, like carpentry, like hairdressing, for example, yes, there are definitely apprenticeships in those. But I'm not sure if you know, there are over 650 apprenticeship standards that are running in the United Kingdom at the moment. That's 650 careers. And you can see a few of them listed on the slide there. But included in those more vocational industries and traditional industries that have been associated with apprenticeships, you can go into a business apprenticeship, a marketing apprenticeship. There's one in chemistry, there's one in digital marketing, there's one in journalism, there's one in sports. There are loads of apprenticeships. And as Maria said at the beginning, there is now an apprenticeship where you can become a doctor apprenticeship being piloted at the moment. So the career opportunities are fantastic. I can add solicitor apprenticeships to that as well. There are many available apprenticeships. Apprenticeships don't do real jobs. So you will hear a lot from me that apprenticeships are a job, they're a real job, and it's really important for the people on the call to understand that. So just like when you apply for any other job, you will apply for an apprenticeship in the same way, and employers will have their entry requirements and interview processes and assessment processes. So it is a real job. You get paid a wage, you get holiday, you are entitled to the same benefits that all employees at an organisation. So it's really important to remember that it is a real job. Of course, when you're on an apprenticeship program, then you will get support from your employer there, as it's a real job as well. So being an apprentice, it's just like being any other employee, apart from you are learning on the job. So it's a training program whilst you're getting paid. Okay, so this is quite a common one. Apprenticeships are badly paid. Now, when you first start an apprenticeship, then it's unlikely that you're going to be able to start your job on a six-figure salary. However, having said that, the entry requirement, the minimum apprenticeship wage is £4.81 per hour. But the average salary of a degree apprentice is £22,500. So that is not a bad whack when you're first starting out your career. Apprenticeships are badly paid is certainly a definite myth. As I said, £4.81. There are many employers who will pay substantially more than that, and it is a great way to get into a company and start climbing that scale, that ladder already. So you may well find that apprenticeships have some fantastic career options within the company that you join as an apprentice. 6, apprenticeships are only for school leavers. Okay, so perhaps this one is perhaps for the parents on the call as well, but also for the students. There is no upper age limit for an apprenticeship. You have to be 16 to begin an apprenticeship. But you may have seen an announcement recently in the press that the government have provided more funding for what they're calling returnships as well for older people. So perhaps if you're looking for a career change, or if you're looking for another opportunity, then apprenticeship can be a great way to get into something else, into another career. Apprenticeship won't lead to a career. That is probably one of the biggest myths. The whole point of apprenticeships is that they will lead you into a career. So you know what you want to do. You've chosen your career perhaps, and you want to find a way into it. An apprenticeship into those 650 different apprenticeship standards, into all those careers. Apprenticeships are a great way to get into a career. They're fantastic, and it really gives the opportunity to become a valuable part of that company from day one. So you'll be doing a job, you'll be earning a wage, you'll be learning, you'll be networking with colleagues, but also you'll be getting that kind of technical educational education as well whilst you're working. So you will get lots of experience as well. Okay. Just a little note about the levels of apprenticeships as well, because they can be complex and confusing. But essentially, as I've referred to, an apprenticeship is a combination of studying and learning at the same time, often referred to earn as you learn. The levels do become a little bit confusing, particularly as they're different in England, as they are different in Wales and Northern Ireland and Scotland as well. You can pretty much take this away with you when it comes to levels. When we're looking at GCSE grades 9 to 4, we can say that is roughly equivalent to a level 2 apprenticeship qualification. Now they are different because apprenticeship is delivered in a different way to an academic qualification or to a school qualification. But we can generally say that grade 9 to 4 at GCSE is equivalent to a level 2 qualification. Whereas an A level, an AS level or a T level is equivalent to a level 3 apprenticeship qualification. You will go in England, the level 2 is the entry level apprenticeship. We don't know what happened to level 1, but it starts at level 2. And then a level 3 is an advanced apprenticeship. And then you get the higher apprenticeships between levels 4 and 7. Level 6 being the degree apprenticeship and level 7 being more into the traditional kind of master's territory. But that's the way they work in England. And you can see the different ways that they work slightly different in Wales and Northern Ireland as well. And then if we just go on to the last slide, then that talks a little bit about Scotland. As I said, it is slightly different in the devolved nations. I think, Maria, I am probably running to the end of my time, but
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much, everybody, for listening to that. And as I say, if you'd like to discover more apprenticeship opportunities and find out more, please head to ucas.com, create yourself a hub account and go from there. You'll be surprised, I hope. I'd like to hand over to Tia, please.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for the information, Pete. So, evening all. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Tia. I'm one of the Future Careers Recruitment Managers here at Virgin Media O2. So, just a brief summary on me. I've been with VMO2 for a year and 3 months, and I am extremely passionate about future careers. My main driver for that passion is that in school I struggled, didn't get really any grades at all. So I'm hoping to help support future careers of all ages get into the industries and roles that they want to get into. So we are Virgin Media O2. As of the 1st of June 2021, Virgin Media and O2 came together to combine the UK's largest mobile network with a broadband network offering the fastest and most widely available broadband speeds. We are the result of a 50-50 joint venture between our parent companies, Liberty Global and Telefonica, and we are now one of the UK's largest businesses. We have really exciting times ahead. So let's move on to our apprentice programs. We do have a lot of great apprenticeship opportunities that cover all sorts of roles across our business. So whether you want to work on a more technical scheme, maybe engineering or the business side, there is a scheme for you. But let's have a look at those. So as you can see on the screen, we've got a huge variety. Some of the schemes, like I said, are office-based, some are field-based, and others are hybrid. So it's a real mixture of schemes. Our schemes do range from level 2 to level 7. And on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see our benefits that all apprentices will receive from day one with us. So you can see competitive salary, as Pete said, ours do start from £19,000 and they go up to £30,000 at the minute. So really, really great competitive salaries there. You can see that you would be on a permanent contract. This is the same for apprentices, grads and interns, and that's from day one. So that means regardless of if your apprenticeship scheme is 15 months or 36 months, from day one, you would be a permanent employee with us. So no need to reapply for an apprenticeship scheme at the end of that. You would get my mates and mates rates as well. They can be shared with your friends and family. You'll also get 25 days holiday plus the opportunity to buy or sell up to 5 days. And of course, you'd have that dedicated training and support structure. So loads of great stuff from our apprenticeship programs there. Let's touch on our recruitment process. So this might look a little bit daunting, but it's not, trust me. So starting with that application form. So our simple online application form gives you the chance to tell us a little bit about yourself. You only need to fill in the form. For our Virgin Media O2 schemes, no CV is required. You might be thinking, why would you not accept CVs? And the reason why is that here at VMO2, we hire on potential. Our candidates deserve a level playing field and equal opportunities when applying for any scheme. So here at VMO2, we level that playing field in many ways, but the main way is by removing CVs from our application process. So after the application form, we do have a situational judgment test. This may sound daunting, but again, it's not. This is just a basic test that helps us to understand a little bit more about work situations that you would be most suited to and those that you might not be most suited to. And after that situational judgment test, should you be successful, we would move on to a video/telephone interview. And this is just a series of questions that you would answer. There is plenty of thinking time, and it just gives us a chance to learn a little bit more about you and your motivations as an individual. And then, of course, you would have a coaching call. So this just gives us a chance to have a one-on-one chat and to help you prepare for that final stage, which would be an assessment centre. And you will receive feedback at all stage. So regardless of where you are in the process, you can request that feedback. And should you have been successful from assessment centre, you would hopefully get an offer. But that was just our recruitment process at a quick glance. And I want to talk to you about our useful candidate tools. So I just want to reassure you that throughout the application process, as there are several steps, and you can see there is help and support throughout the whole process. We have some really great, innovative, interactive tools that can be used by candidates looking to apply or just looking to browse the apprentice schemes that we have. So if you have your phone with you, pull it out, scan that QR code. That will take you to our Future Careers site. On that site, you'll be able to see all of the apprentice schemes that we currently have live, but you'll also be able to take that Match Me tool. So the Match Me tool is just 4 questions that you have to answer, and it will align you to a few apprentice schemes that your answers might be best suited to. You can read about all of the details of the schemes as well. And on the right hand side, you can see the situational judgment test. So we've got a practice situational judgment test. You are more than welcome to go onto it and give it a go before applying, just so you can do it at home, find a chilled space and really experience what it would be like to do a live situational judgment test. But that was enough from me. So let's speak with Monique. So Monique, we have got your details on the screen for students and parents to have a read through. But I would love for you to talk us through your career journey. So do you maybe want to start with telling the students what scheme you're on, and then how did you get to where you are now?
Yeah, 100%. So, funnily enough, literally a year ago, yesterday, I was going through the exact recruitment process. So it's like crazy deja vu. Um, but I'm currently on the digital marketing apprenticeship scheme. I decided to do it straight out of college. Um, Honestly speaking, I was really, really amped up to go to uni. I was so excited. I was like, yes, uni's for me. I can't wait. And then a couple of months before, I just kind of had like a bit of a moment with myself, and I realized that uni just I wasn't ready for it. Because I see myself as more of a practical learner. I prefer to learn whilst I'm doing something, and I've always been way more work inclined than it comes to learning. And another thing that I want to hone in on what Pete said, it's not about not being great at school. I was always actually pretty good at school. I got good grades, I could focus really well, but sometimes it's just not for you, and you need to kind of be honest with yourself and put yourself in a position where you know you'll kind of be comfortable and you know you'll get the best out of it. So as you can see here, I had quite a few previous jobs that definitely don't link to digital marketing at all. I was an English and maths tutor and a dance teacher. But then I decided to do an internship in the summer with a social media company, and that kind of brought me into digital marketing, kind of gave me a little taster. It was quite different to what we do at Virgin Media O2, but it still kind of showed me that, okay, this is kind of what I think I could be doing with my future. So that's why I definitely said, you know what, I'm going to leap into it and I'm just going to do it. Um, as Tia said, the process to apply does look quite daunting, but I promise you, it is nothing of the sort. Everyone's super lovely. It's super, super easy. I love the fact that I got feedback at every single stage because I knew what Virgin Media O2 wanted from me. So I knew how to apply it. And that really worked. Like at first, I actually didn't get the role and I was put on a wait list. But from that, from all of that feedback, I kind of took it and I was like, okay, this is what you want from me. I understand I'm on the wait list. If I get this chance, I'm going to 100% apply that in everything I do in this apprenticeship, because I don't want to waste an opportunity like this. And it's a great opportunity, I'll tell you that. It's really good. So yeah, a little bit more about my role currently. I have to rotate through different teams as part of the scheme. I have been in PPC, if you know what that is, that's paid pay-per-click. Currently I am in search engine optimization. So we're learning a lot of different things. There's a lot of different sides to it. Trust me, you'll learn so much. It's so great, honestly, so great. With our scheme, we kind of do some residential training as well. So we go away for a couple of days, learn exactly what we need to learn, and then we can come back and put that straight onto the job, which helps so much. And our teams really do love that from us, and they appreciate it a lot because it helps us to help them as much as possible. And the best thing I love about being a digital marketing apprentice is the fact that I can actually grasp my information in such a practical way. I don't know if anyone on the call is kind of like that as well, but I cannot learn from a book. I cannot learn from just reading. I have to do it so that I know what I'm doing, if that makes sense. And being able to kind of take a piece of information, apply it to what you're doing, see how it works in real life, and then see it on like a bigger scale, see it on the internet, see it on bigger screens, see it when you're scrolling through your phone. A, you feel proud of yourself for being able to do it, but B, you've understood what you've done, and you know exactly how to apply it for the future. So yeah, I am 100% pro apprenticeship. If you really feel like when it comes to learning from like very traditional ways, if you feel like that is very hard for you, I 100% do recommend doing an apprenticeship. Like, I think I've outlined pretty much every single reason why I think that's the way to go. But yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Monique. And if you would give one top tip to the students and parents listening, what would that be?
One top tip, don't be scared.
Oh, I love that.
Do not be scared of it. Yes, it's a full-time role, but you've got so many people around you just to kind of show you the way. And that's what the apprenticeship is kind of for. You've got so many people to support you. It doesn't matter if you get things wrong. Trust me, I have done so many things wrong, but there are so many people around me to kind of tell me, look, you're here to learn. That's what you're here for. We don't expect perfection from you. So go into it. Don't be scared about it. Just do it. I promise you, you're never gonna sit there and be like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. This is it. You're going to feel so proud of yourself when you finally do something and you put your all into a task.
Amazing. Thank you,
Brilliant.
Monique.
Well, guys, Tia and Monique, thank you so much for sharing your insights into Virgin Media O2 and the amazing career paths that you offer. I'm sure there'll be many people that are here today that probably be already scanning the QR code and thinking about joining your workforce. So that's brilliant. I'm going to leave you and say good night. On the screen, you can see our next webinar on the 27th of April. And really look forward to seeing you all then. But for tonight, many thanks to UCAS and many thanks to Virgin Media O2.